Let's get it. Angelo Savage, we are here. Where's my... I feel like it's not broadcasting. Gotcha. Right there. Okay. Let's go. It's Angelo Savage, man. Let's get it. All right, it's your boy Angelo Savage here, man, and we just checking some shit out. See what's going on. And I want to do something differently today. So we're gonna try to do some shit. We're gonna try to record. This is the game plan. I'm gonna record as my show, as I do, and then I'm going to just clip it as I go, pretty much. All right, keep that live. I can do something else with that. Okay, so for those that don't know, it's your boy Angelo Savage. I also have another YouTube channel. It's gonna rain tomorrow. Shit. It's that time that Chicago, Illinois, it's about to get super duper duper cold. Duper duper cold. Anyway, let's start this off. It's your boy Angelo Savage. We're gonna do a live stream here. It doesn't matter if you're watching or not. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm doing this for not only practice and practicality. I'm doing this for because I'm that nigga. So, and if you that nigga, join Angelo Savage on YouTube. Also join Angelo So Motivated. So we're gonna start this by our first to first. This seems like as if, let me put the like on that bit. We're gonna start this by actually doing a video for pictures. We're gonna start this by actually doing a video for my motivational YouTube channel, which is Angelo So Motivational, and I'm gonna post that. I'm trying to do daily, but it seems like we can only hit like 3 days a week right now: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that's the best I can do at the moment. God damn it! So I'm gonna record that when it starts. We do this live, man, and everything's off the top of the cranium, top of the crane. Anyway. Let's see. Let's get it. So y'all just flow with me, and we just gonna be clipping shit. Let's go. It's your boy Angelo Savage, man, and it's Monday morning. So you know what that means. It's Monday morning motivation. So we just gonna go with the flow, and that's how you gotta go. So what's the message? Go with the flow, because this is how I flow. That being said, every day is another day, and I tell people like this: once the day has passed, it is now the past, and you have to live either in the present. You got to live in the present to plan for your future. So leave the past in the past. Forget about what's last and be first. Facts. For real. And if you think about it like that, there's real levels to this stuff. There's individuals in this world that are willing to hustle. There's individuals in this world that is willing to sit back, relax, don't do nothing. You can't be that person. You cannot sit back and relax and allow your life to pass you by. You actually have to get up and get on motion. Think about it like this. Either way you work or you don't work, regardless, all that pain, all that suffering, you're not even going to remember it a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month, a year. It's going to be as if it wasn't painful. But it was. But you hustled through it. So just sit back, plot, plan, get what you need to get done. Stay focused. That's just the reality of the situation at hand. So stay in the present time, I would say. Stay in the present time and figure out where do I want to go? How do I get there? And how long does it take? Make SMART goals. And SMART is an acronym. S for specific, M for measurable, A for obtainable, R for reasonable, and T is time. And if you put all these together, you can really get your job in or thing done because you know what's going on. So in that aspect, it's time to stay focused, ladies and gentlemen. Angelo Savage is not here for play. We actually here to stay focused. You know what I'm saying? I'm focused. I just got done working a 16-hour shift. Then I work throughout the night. It's Monday morning, literally, right now. So we're doing Monday morning motivation, and we upload that by Monday morning. So y'all know what's going on. It can be Monday morning motivation. It can be Monday motivation. Either way, it's motivation for your cranium. That's all I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? For those people that don't, you need a little bit of oomph, get off your ass. If you need somebody to tell you that it's time to stop playing, it's time to stop playing. I'm that guy. Yes, it's me, Angelo Savage. I'm going to tell you to get off your ass and get focused and get active because, be honest, the devil's working very hard right now. And people that kind of float at a higher, let's say, wavelength, you can kind of sense where the devil's at and where the world's fucking up. That being said, stay focused on your mission at hand. Don't stop. Don't stop. Won't stop. No diddy. You know what I'm saying? So, end of the day, do what you need to do to get what you need to do to get done. Because no one's going to hand you nothing. Nobody has a sob story for you. I feel sleepy a lot of the times because I neglect my sleep. But what I put in exchange to the world, I think would benefit the world even more greater. Yes. It's not like that good old Joe. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? So either way, man, if you really want to get ahead, stay focused on the present day. Forget about yesterday. For real. I'm at work, right? I work my 16-hour shift and then I come home. When I go to work the next day or the day after that, I don't care about nothing that happened in the days that I wasn't even there or that was already past. We cannot focus on that. No, you got to focus on the future. Those days are done. Those days are done. You got to wipe your hands with it, man, and figure out what's either going on right now or what's about to go on in the future because you got to stay ahead of the curve. If you don't stay ahead of the curve, how do you expect to win? Win is win. It's that simple. Losers and lose. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that mentality to get ahead. They kind of sit back and let everybody else get ahead. That is a loser mentality, which is crazy. If you think about it, most people sit back and let everybody else live the dreams that they wanted to achieve, but they were too lazy to get off their butt. Are you one of those individuals? Now, I want you to look yourself in the eyeballs and say, are you an individual that's going to sit there and pretend like you the victim or you the victor? You know, I used to play the victim card too, man. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Angelo Savage used to play the victim. Not no more. We can't do it no more. I got to play the victor now. And I will sacrifice my time, my freedom, my youth, and my money to get it. By any means, man. It's just what's necessary. I have to do this. It's like my mission, and it came to me once my son was born. I became more aware of what I need to do, like a purpose. I was just playing around before my son was born, playing around, smoking, drinking, hanging with friends all day, dangerous things. Now I sit back and I'm like, I think it's time to do something greater than myself. I've created something that's going to pass on my generation past me, but it means nothing if I can't teach him how to kind of handle the world. And that's how you got to figure things out when you're doing things. And this is why Angelo Savage here is here to motivate you. I created multiple YouTube channels for that reason. So I can give people a political spectrum. I can give people a motivational spectrum. And then me creating my new LLC, Angelo Soul Media, I'm gonna do it for every genre. I don't care. Technology, food reactions, you know what I'm saying? IRLs, whatever means necessary, because you know what? This is what you gotta do in your youth to get what you need to get done. Simple as that, man. Simple as that. And I'm proud for the people that understands that. We're waking up now, man. There's no more victim mentality. It's victor mentality. Straight up. You win or you lose. You either have it or you don't. There's no middle. You're either rich or you're not. Or you're either poor or you're not poor. I like that one better. You're either poor or you're not poor. Simple as that. And I grew up poor. And I'm not going to sit back and relax while everybody else is living their dreams. And I'm sitting here saying how, oh, they shouldn't have this. Whoop-de-whoop. Yeah. Who am I to tell you shouldn't have that? You figured it out. Now it's my turn. I don't want to take your wealth away from you and give it to me because I don't want to work. I can't do that, bro. That's not in my MO. That's not my mindset. I'm not that type of person. Hey, look at that guy over there. He's successful. Tax man, come on, get him. I can't do it. It's a negative. And I don't do negativity over here. No. Positively only with Angelo Savage, man. And this is why I do Angelo Soul Motivation. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm so motivated, which means I'm going to motivate y'all. And this has to happen by any means necessary. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Don't apologize for nothing in this world. Do what you need to do. Stand on 10 toes and with your chest out. I used to walk the street with my head down, looking at the feet. The more I got motivated, the more I gained strength and confidence within myself. And this happened at a older age, in my late 20s. I started getting more confident, got my head up, chest out. I started attacking the world with oomph. You know what I'm saying? With motive, with purpose. And then I realized that when that sun rise, I rise. Even when the sun down, I'm up. I barely sleep, but I know it has a greater purpose. And this is what everybody should have. Thrive for a purpose so we all can conquer. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Thrive for what you want to get in this world so you can continue to get what you want to get. Is it not that simple? It's literally that simple. I'm from Chicago, born and raised. It's that simple, bro. You can become whatever you want. Don't become no victim. Please don't. I'm from the trenches. I'm from the hoods. I'm from Section 8. I'm from EBT, bro. But to this day, I'm grown. I don't have none of that. I got a family. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm a father. I'm present, and I have my son with me all the time. I take him to school majority of the time every week, all that. And I don't care. That's my sacrifice I'm willing to do. We all got to sacrifice for something. So what's your sacrifice? Look yourself in the mirror and say, man, what you going to sacrifice today? Because if you're not willing to sacrifice nothing, then you're not willing to win. It's that simple. Sacrifice something, give up something you love or something you don't need anymore. And then tell yourself, all right, cool. And then the next year, maybe give up something else. I haven't ate pork in 4 years. Since my son's been born, I have never touched pork no more. It was just bad I want to live. I knew it would be bad for me, so I stopped eating it. I stopped drinking pop as well. I don't drink pop. You know what I'm saying? You got to start cutting things off you know is bad for you. Start intermittent fasting just to challenge yourself. For the smokers out there, maybe give yourself a break of like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. If you're a drinker, okay, I'm only going to drink 2 weeks out of the 4 weeks of the month. You know what I'm saying? On the weekends, on this day. So if you don't drink on those days, you can't drink. Start setting yourself limits. That's all. That being said, man, it's your boy Angelo Savage, man. And this is going to conclude this video for Angelo Soul Motivational, man. I'm going to upload this in the morning. Y'all stay lit. It's your boy Angelo Savage. Subscribe. Peace. All right, man. We still live, man. This is a night show, man. You thought we stopped? We're not stopping, man. So that, for those that don't know, it's your boy Angelo Savage. I have my Angelo Soul Motivated channel. It seems like when I get on that night, I'm going to start doing my motivational speak from the jump. Do 10 to 15 minutes of motivation so I can consistently post on there because I upload daily anyway. I was just pre-recording. Now, I'm going to pre-record and I'm going to do it live simultaneously, nigga. I'm two places at once. I'm like quantum physics. You hear me? So what I do is I'm going to record. Wow. So this part right here is not being recorded. And then I'm going to click the record button and then do my spiel. And then I'm going to click the non-record button. Save that video, upload to this thing. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing 2 in 1. I got to get it by any means. But make sure you subscribe to your boy Savage. Let's go. Now we're going to Angelo Savage YouTube channel. Yes. So you guys follow me over here. And when we got these videos in order, I prepped it earlier. So let's see what it do. So we're going to start now with my reactionary channel with reactionary. We're going to start this off. So if it seems out of place, it's not. I'm doing this chronologically, and I put it all in order. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Let's get it. Picture. Hold on now. See, I'm already fucking up. We do it live. Record. There you go.
Picture hailing an Uber and lifting off in one of these. Tonight, NBC News given behind-the-scenes access to an American firm in a global race to launch commercial air taxis. The company, Joby, in partnership with Uber, has been testing and demonstrating around the world, including here in Dubai, in California, and in New York.
This is click a button and get a flight. This is bringing the magic of flight to our everyday lives.
So how will it work? A regular Uber will pick you up at your home or office and take you to a vertiport, where you'll board a taxi unlike any other. The cabin will be air-conditioned with 4 passenger seats, so you may find yourself ride-sharing. Joby says a ride will cost around the same as an Uber Black. Fully electric, the taxi can go 200 miles an hour and has been in development for 16 years.
Pause. 16 years? I don't know if I believe that now. 16 years ago? We in 2025. That means you've been doing this since at least 2004. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, right? Yeah, 25, 15 years ago, 20, 15. Yeah, at least like, what, you said 16 years ago? So like 2009? You've been doing this since 2009? You niggas didn't have no flying airplanes. Ubers. Uber wasn't even a thing in 2009, was it? Yeah, they lying. Maybe the tech, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let's go.
Roughly the size and weight of a large SUV. Listen to how quiet it is as it takes off. That's crucial because they're about to start testing it over Dubai's densely populated area. We met their test pilot, who, in another life, put F-35s through their paces.
It's up there with the F-35 in terms of its responsiveness.
For the many who will worry about safety, he points to the aircraft's 6 propellers.
We can still perform our flights and deliver our customers to where they need to be safely, even if we have a failure.
At least 5 U.S. cities are hoping to be pioneers after President Trump simplified the process by executive order. Here in Dubai, vertiports are already under construction. The city set to be the first to launch a full fare-paying service, Joby says, as soon as next year. Keir Simmons, NBC News, Dubai.
Man, I'm going to say it like this. That shit look dangerous as hell. Like, it looks super duper dangerous, bro. You look at this right now, you're like, whoa. So you telling me, Buddy said, even when one propeller falls out, we still good because it looks like it's 5 propellers on there. But it just looks like it's super duper dangerous, though. Like, it just looked like, man, some shit's finna go wrong. Talking about the F1, nah, I don't believe that. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got 5 propellers on there. Or is it 6? No, there's 6 on there. So if 1 go out, you can still go. Now, I need it where if 3 go out, I'm still in the sky and I can land safely. Because they saying it's going 200 miles an hour. I don't know, man. And then it's the price of an Uber X. That's the only reason I'm saying I do it. If it's the price of an Uber X and it get me to where I need to be even quicker than driving, okay. I might have to get to the airport quick. But will I get to the airport is the question. Like, safely. Now, in Dubai, it's not that much rain. I understand. It's, you know, it probably can work in Dubai. And then if they crash their shit, they can afford it. You know what I'm saying? They just build a whole new island. You know what I'm saying? Another island of people. You know what I'm saying? But that can't happen in like a Chicago. It's too much rain. It's too much wind. I don't trust myself in this little airplane with 6 propellers in the windy city. No, nope. And I heard they was trying to do that over in O'Hare. Now, would it be a great idea? Yes, but remember, Kobe Bryant died in an airplane, in a helicopter, and I don't think this shit is no better. You know what I'm saying? And it's new tech. Talking about AC, all electric propellers. Look. So you saying we in the sky with all electric? That's like telling me to get in the airplane electric. Y'all getting in the electric airplanes? I don't know, man. One little thunder shock. We need to do testing like that. That's my theory. You see, I'm a solution-based individual. What they need to do for real is they need to test it in the sky. They need to test out a thunder shock. You know what I mean? Like electricity, thunder. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. Because if it's electric and it's thundering, you ain't got none on Mother Nature. It might shut that motherfucker down mid-flight. Can you land this? And that's my mentality when I'm inside of something like this. I get nervous in little tight spaces like that. Like, I actually took a tour in Chicago on a helicopter. It was really cool. The pilot had me and my girl sitting in the front. So we seen all the controls. It was real nice. Had the headphones on. This seems a little, actually more even high tech. I ain't gonna lie. If they can successfully do this actively for like 5 years, I'm gonna give them 5 years. If you can actively do this for about 5 years, no accidents or very few accidents, I might consider it. But I'm gonna let all the other people do the dangerous shit first. You know what I mean? That's like figuring out we can bungee jump, and then they want you to try it out first. No, you know what? I'll just let you try that out for a couple years to make sure any accidents happen. You bungee jump first. And then later in life, when stuff gets right, then I'll do it. Maybe I'll consider it. You know, I'm black. We don't do these type of things. We barely like to fly. But for the ones that want to experience 6 propellers on a helicopter, electric, then y'all try that out first, and we'll see how they do that. I know in Dubai that it's going to be very successful. You can bring it to Cali, you can bring it to Chicago, you can bring it to Houston, New York. I'm gonna be honest, in perfect conditions, maybe this will work. But like I said, New York, California, New York and Illinois, you got all types of weather, bro. You got the bad weather too. You know what I'm saying? The rain, the sun. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think about this in the comment section for real, because this is kind of suspect to me, man. I feel like it's a slippery slope. Like, so y'all tell me what y'all think about this in the comment section for sure. All right, we going to the next video. Let's see what's going on over here. We're gonna scoot on down, man. We get all the jigs. We do everything over here, man. Now we're going over to Chicago, man. What's going on in Chicago right now, man? It says teen killed, 8 injured in the Loop shooting. Now, look, I wasn't down in Chicago this time. Now, remember, this is where the Chicago building is. Like, if y'all seen this little Chicago sign, I went there one time when Will Smith was actually in Chicago. He had a book signing, and I went there with my girl. This is a really nice area right here. You know, you get a lot of homeless people and shit, but this is a very nice area of Chicago. This is a part of Chicago that you don't expect bad stuff to happen. Like, of course, Chicago's like violent sometimes. Now, let me just play the video. I wanna see what y'all think.
More large crowds are expected in downtown Chicago as many people begin to celebrate the holiday season. Now, along with the festive mood, there are some concerns about safety after 2 shootings here in the Loop, one that claimed the life of a teenager. An increased presence of Chicago police is visible in the Loop tonight after 2 separate shootings leave a teen dead and some holiday revelers alert but not concerned.
Can't really do much about it. I'm just going to go out, live my life, not going to stay in the house all day.
The shootings happened Friday night after the city held its official Christmas tree lighting ceremony. Shots rang out just before 10 p.m., just steps away from the ABC7 State Street studios. Police say they spotted a large crowd on the sidewalk in the 100 block of North State Street near the Chicago Theater when gunfire erupted and the crowd scattered.
It is, quite frankly, frustrating and quite upsetting when this type of violence takes place.
The mayor says city officials got wind of some social media posts about a possible teen takeover downtown and had been working for the last few days to try to stop it from happening.
There was a communication that was delivered to CPS to encourage young people not to participate in these unauthorized gatherings.
Pause. This guy is the problem. Brandon Johnson. Can I reiterate? This guy right here is the problem. He keeps telling us that he was supposed to put a curfew for the children in Chicago, and he decided not to do it because he didn't want to restrict the kids from having their freedom when they're doing these takeovers. This isn't the first takeover that there's been shots fired at. This happens actually frequently. Definitely when there's big events and a lot of tourists in Chicago downtown. Brandon Johnson is a problem because a lot of people and aldermen, they petition, hey man, can you make an, a curfew around Chicago at certain times for teens? Because, first off, while they out there, but then again, it's 10 o'clock. It's not that bad, but at least 12 o'clock, y'all got to be out the streets. You know what I'm saying? But this should have happened anytime. And what happens if you're not familiar in Chicago is that a teen takeover is basically when a lot of kids just agree to meet up somewhere. It's like a invitation to go to a party. They agree, everybody agrees to go to a certain location and they just chill out. And then, of course, you see your ops. You see a lot of kids, 12, 11, 13, shiestied up. You don't know who is who. You don't know who got guns, but just assume somebody got one. Like, if you ever somewhere in Chicago, you see a lot of teens somewhere, assume at least if it's a teen, like a group of this, and it's like a group of 50, 2 of them or 3 of them got a gun on them. For sure. Facts. Don't even think less. They got guns. So in this aspect, Brandon Johnson is to get a slight blame for this situation due to the fact that he knew that stuff like this happens. And if you guys caught wind, you should have had high police presence because it seems like that was able to happen. You still didn't get the suspect, and people got and teens got killed and 8 got injured. So if you knew that was going to happen, it was best for you to keep high police presence up there when you seen teens up there. You should have flooded the area with police because stuff like this happened now. You got teens killed, and this is around very prestigious areas of Chicago where you don't expect this to happen. This is where people from tour, they go to like the opera and shit. This is like the theater, right? The Chicago theater. That's like a nice place. You don't want no shootings around that place because that is going to scare people. Let's go.
Authorized gatherings.
7 teens ranging in age from 13 to 17 were shot. Most are listed in good or fair condition. A separate shooting near Dearborn and Monroe, a 14-year-old boy was killed and an 18-year-old was wounded. Community violence interrupter Pastor Donovan Price says teens need supervision, especially in large crowds.
Bring some family with you. Bring mom, bring auntie, bring somebody with you, bring an adult with you. And just watch out and be careful. We're praying for you.
The violence comes as a lot of people venture back downtown for the Chris Kendall Market and the Magnificent Mile Lights Festival.
Even though we had an incident downtown yesterday that was very unfortunate, nothing can stop me from coming to celebrate our city, the holidays, and lighting up Michigan Avenue.
Authorities say 18 people were arrested for curfew violations and various assaults. Chicago police plan on deploying an additional 300 officers on top of the already 700 assigned to cover weekend festivities. City officials say they are continuing to closely monitor the downtown area for unusual activity.
Tonight,
all right, man. So you heard it here first, man. You heard it here first,
More large
man. It seems like that the kids, they getting out of control. Hide your kids, man. Actually, I'm be honest. You want to know what's the real problem? It's bad parenting. The parents are doing nothing. And it could be because of a bunch of single parents. But you know what I hate about this? They're black kids. Yeah. That's the part I hate about this the most. They got to be black kids. Because it makes our people look bad when some parents, I do work with a lot of black women, and some of them they're trying, you know what I'm saying? Most of them ain't got a man in the house, so they can't even raise their kids. So their kids run around and shit. Like my OG was strict. My mom used to put ADT on the system. Lock us in the crib. You know what I'm saying? She ain't put no like chains on the door, but she used to put ADT. You open that door, the police gonna pop up. You know what I'm saying? So we just stayed in the crib. You know, we might sneak out the window, but we not sneaking out and shooting people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're out there chilling, doing gang stuff. They gang affiliated, all that stuff. It's just a disgrace. It's sad. It makes our people look bad. It makes our city look bad. It takes away from dollars. Look, they doing construction down there. They always doing something. Look, all I'm saying is what's happening is these kids, they have no guidance. But it's not even just about guidance. It's like the mothers are, it loops back into the family. Single mothers go to work, leave their kids to do what the hell they want. The kids go out and roam the streets with other kids of they mamas and shit ain't got no mom, they got no man, and they got to work, so they ain't got nobody to watch them. So they just run in the streets, and everybody gang affiliated. That's the sad part about the situation. They're either gang affiliated or they want to be. But at the end of the day, what's going on is that they're running the street, you know what I'm saying, and they doing what the hell they want to do. And then you run into these situations. Now your kid becomes an innocent bystander of a stray bullet, or some old person, or just a random. And that's the situation that we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. It happens. But at the end of the day, there is solutions. The solution is it's time to whoop some people. You see, I was born with the whooping. You spare the rod, you spoil the child, man. Where have we gone now? Motherfuckers just spoiling childs now. I believe in the ass whooping. I was raised with the ass whooping, and I believe in the ass whooping. For certain kids, not all kids need it. Just the kids that don't understand what they're doing. You know, it's wrong. Like these kids, the kids that on the south side that beat up the lady with the single cell. She had her kids holding her kids. All them kids need ass whoopings. Sorry. It's just a sad reality, but this is what needs to happen, unfortunately. That being said, man, tell me what y'all think about this in the comment section. It's your boy Angelo Savage. We do it all, man. Make sure you like the video for the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace. It's your boy Savage. Let's go. All right, we're going to continue. Let's see the next video. I think we're going to stay in Chicago with this one, man. What else we got going to Chicago? Oh, no, we're going to the burbs now. Now, I'm very familiar with this story because not only did I used to go to college in this town, Aurora, it seems like we got some crazy stuff going on, man, and I got a lot to speak about on this.
Is critically wounded. 2 people are dead. A third is critically wounded after a shooting at a concert in Aurora last night. One of those people killed is believed to be the shooter. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Benn.
And I'm Timon Bradley. WGN's Christine Flores has the latest from Aurora.
Good evening. The incident unfolded at this supper club last night. The identities of the victims have not yet been released, but police believe it was domestic violence related.
It went from pure joy to pure panic in a
That's right next to the train station.
Charity Benavelli is singer and one of the leads of Beyond the Blonde, the band that was playing at Two Brothers Roundhouse Friday night when gunfire erupted.
The initial gunshot, it was hard for at least myself to comprehend what it was. Just you wouldn't expect it, obviously, in the middle of the show. Everyone's having a good time. There's no, we don't hear any altercations. We heard nothing, going on. I thought something fell, so I turned and I looked at my drummer, like, what was that? And everyone was like, oh. And then we heard it again, and then I realized it was a gunshot.
It was just after 9 o'clock Saturday night when Aurora police were dispatched to the supper club at 205 North Broadway after receiving multiple 911 calls for shots fired. Once on scene, officers say they found multiple victims suffering from gunshot wounds. Life-saving measures were performed until paramedics arrived and took 2 of the victims to area hospitals. One adult female victim was taken to an area hospital and later pronounced dead. One adult male victim was transported to an area hospital at last check in critical condition. One adult male, believed to be the shooter, was pronounced dead at the scene. Preliminary information suggests the 3 individuals knew each other and that the shooting appears to be domestic violence related.
Yeah, pause. Now, for those that don't know, Aurora, Illinois is actually the second biggest city in Illinois, next to Chicago. So you got Chicago, Illinois. Then you have Aurora, Illinois, which is in Kane County, majority of it. Then you got some of it is in DuPage County, but it is the second biggest city based on population in the state of Illinois. I actually went to college in Aurora, and it's a really nice city. They call it Little Chicago, whatever, but you know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's better than Iraq for sure. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get away from the violence, go to Aurora. It's still a little violent out there, but it ain't as much. Like, you don't have to super watch your back, but I would still watch your back type stuff. You know what I mean? You kind of separate it. It's like 40 minutes west of Chicago. if you got on the highway. Maybe 35 minutes if you're speeding, 30 minutes if you're speeding. Now, that being said, this is either way, this is a situation. This is right downtown Aurora. Right down, like the main, this is right next to actually a fire department and next to a train station and a post office, like right next to it. And a lot of people come here to eat and everything, do their thing. It's a Saturday night, everybody enjoying their time. So, and I just heard about this actually today while I was at work. And I'm like, really? Somebody died over there? It's crazy because, you know, sometimes you don't see police and then randomly they'll just pop up. And then you like, damn, where the hell all these APD come from? And they just chilling around because usually, you know what I'm saying? In Aurora also, the ICE was just out there going crazy. Like they was pulling, because this is technically the east side. You know what I'm saying? The east side, I got all the Mexicans in it. So Aurora is like 60-70% Latinos. So a lot of ICE agents was out here going crazy when they was in Chicago as well. They were also in Elgin. Christy Nome was also in Aurora. And they was everywhere, bro. You could tell. Left to right, arresting people or pulling people over. Left to right, they was pulling people out and everything. Anyway, this is a sad situation. Let's continue.
Feel scary, you know, that somebody, you know, is in that type of mind frame that they feel that they need to take a life, even in their own life, you know. So, yeah, just sad.
In a post online, Two Brothers Roundhouse announced a temporary closure following the incident. They reopened at 3 o'clock.
We're glad everybody else is, you know, okay, and we hope that everybody can work through this, you know, emotionally, and that we're here for everybody.
Yeah.
While the investigation is ongoing, police are asking anyone with information on this incident to contact them. Tips can also be submitted anonymously. Reporting in Aurora, Christine Flores, WGN News.
And the crazy part about this is that they're temporary closed. They just closed for the rest of the night and they opened up late the next day, about like 4 hours. Other than that, they were still in business. And imagine you working that night and somebody get popped. And then they like, all right, man, we back in business. I know it was 3 dead bodies last night, but, you know, business is business. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality of the situation. And it is true. Business is business and stuff like this shouldn't happen. But the sad part about this situation is that it seems as if they said these 3 people know each other. It seems as if possibly a girlfriend or ex-girlfriend was on a date with either a new man or possibly a friend. And he knew they were there based on either location or somebody dropped the low. And then he came there, and this is word of mouth, this is allegedly. He didn't say a word. He basically went in there, seen him, and shot the dude immediately in the back of the head. That's the word on the street, based on people that I know out in Aurora. Because I know a lot of people in Aurora, like a lot. Like most of my friends be in Aurora and in Chicago, for real. And then the inner suburbs in between. But look, they said somebody walked in there. They seen them 2 together, shot the dude right in the head, and then shot the girl right after. And then after that, shot herself. That's why when the lady said they didn't hear no commotion, they just heard like bangs and thought somebody dropped something. That's because there was no commotion. He walked in there and on some like execution shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a sad reality, but that's what happens. And then after he did that, he tried to ice himself. And in this concept, I'm thinking like, you know, I'm a solution based individual, so I try to solve problems. I'm like, who was that? Why did he do that? And what could that have been? It seems like a fatal attraction. Either the girl tried to move on, and he won't allow that to happen, or she was cheating, and he found her cheating at Two Brothers, and you know, did the business. Unfortunately, that's not how you handle it as a man. You just walk away and become successful. That's what I would think. You know what I mean? The best revenge is success to me. But at the same time, you have individuals that are emotionally unstable and they'll do certain actions like that, or they don't have a purpose, or they feel like they lost it all or don't have nothing to lose. So they will end everybody. It's an isolated event. It just happened to those 2 individuals and the dude himself. They didn't go after no other body else. It wasn't no super mass shooting. It wasn't it was targeted. You know what I mean? And that's why you got to be cautious everywhere. When I'm in Aurora, well, where I'm at anywhere, I'm armed. And I have to be armed because that's a necessity. When you're anywhere, definitely in the winter months, it's the best way. In the winter months, always stay armed because you can conceal it better. You got jackets, sweaters, and stuff. It's better. You're never safe in here. You're never safe in society. So in this situation, as I'm breaking down the story, I just believe that, number one, either she was cheating, was on a date with someone. Number two, he was either a jealous ex-boyfriend that wanted her not to proceed with any other relationship outside of him. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I had this conversation with another woman at work, and I said, well, a woman should always tell a man that she's now dealing with if her ex-boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend is either crazy or is unstable mentally and can't get over her, because now you're risking the new man's life. You know what I'm saying? So if you're ever taking a girl out on a date, I'm gonna be honest, you should be armed. If you're ever at a girl's home, you should be armed, because of the fact that you don't know that she has a boyfriend or not. She could be lying to you, or her boyfriend is so pussy whipped, let's say, that he's not willing to let that go. So he's willing to kill about it. And there's a lot of men out there. I call it tender dick. Come on, let's just call it what it is, tender dick. But let's also say it could have been a cheating relationship thing. So either way, it doesn't matter. As the guy, he became the victim. Could have been a friend. It could have been nobody he knew. But he knows that this person's with this girl, and that's probably why he did this to her. To her and him, and then himself. Because it's an open shut case, just like that. That's how they do it. Unfortunately, it's a sad event. It's close to home in a way. I know a lot of people that know about this. But one thing I want them to do is release the identities. I want to know who this was. I want to know who this was. I can probably find out. I ain't gonna lie with you. So, that being said, man, for gentlemen that are out here, always stay armed. Women, be cautious. Watch your back. Men are unstable now. Well, not men, but people are unstable right now. So, just watch your back. Stay focused on your life. Y'all stay focused on your purpose and stay away from women and stay away from temptation. It can get you killed. You know what I'm saying? Somebody here, if not all of them, were innocent other than the shooter. It's himself. I think those two people were innocent, hopefully. I don't know the story, nor it doesn't matter what that person did. You don't shoot them. That's my end all goal. Regardless of what the person did, you can't go to a local place with 50, 60, 70 people and just shoot somebody right there while a band's playing. You know what I'm saying? That being said, y'all tell me what y'all think about this in the comment section. If you're familiar with this case, comment that below. It's your boy Angelo Savage. Make sure you like the YouTube video for the algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy Angelo Savage. Let's go. Peace. Let's see what we got going on next, man. Oh, shit. Slender man stabbing. Assailant flees group home. I'm not familiar with this case, but let's go.
Police in Wisconsin say a young woman at the center of the Slender Man stabbing case is now on the run. The Madison Police Department says Morgan Geyser cut off her ankle monitor and left a group home Saturday night. In 2014, Geyser and another child were accused of trying to kill their friend in an attempt to please an online character called Slender Man. All of them were 12 years old at the time. ABC's Jacqueline Lee is following the story for us. Joining us now, Jacqueline, what do we know about how all of this unfolded?
Hey, Ike, so the Madison Police Department saying she cut off her monitoring bracelet, leaving that group home last night. She was last seen with an adult acquaintance around 8 p.m. So police releasing this image of Geyser from disappearance, prompting a manhunt. The public incredibly concerned given the violent nature of her previous conviction. Police asking the public to call 911 if they see her. Ike.
Jacqueline, what are we hearing now from the victim's family?
Yeah, we just got this statement a minute ago. So the family of Peyton Leutner and her family, they say they're aware of the most recent situation regarding Morgan. Peyton and her family are safe. They're working closely with law enforcement to ensure their continued safety, and the family thanking all of the law enforcement entities involved in trying to apprehend Morgan. So we got that from Steve Lyons, who is a spokesperson for the Leutner family. Ike.
And Jacqueline, Morgan Geyser spent more than a decade in a mental hospital after she was found not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. She was then transferred into this supervised facility earlier this year, but there were also some objections to that. Is that right?
That's right. So back in July, a judge approved the plan to move her from a mental hospital to that supervised facility. But earlier this year, prosecutors raised concerns alleging she had violent communication with a man outside the facility and read a book in the facility with themes of sexual sadism and murder. Just a reminder, Ike, she and another girl were 12 years old at the time when they stabbed a classmate 19 times in 2014 to please the fictional character Slender Man. She pleaded guilty to first-degree attempted intentional homicide.
Attempted? She killed somebody. It ain't no attempt. You know what I hate, though, sometimes? I do hate when they do give a slap on the wrist to certain individuals, bro. Because, you know what I mean? A crime is a crime. I understand if you unintentionally did it, but, like, and then again, I guess she was 12 years old or whatever. But when you unintentionally do something and somebody dies from it, okay, 2nd degree, 3rd degree murder. But we're not going to charge you with no attempt because the person died. You know what I'm saying? You're killing people. You know what I'm saying? You just don't stab people. But you know what? The system's kind of rigged, man. In my eyes, I feel like, yes, this a kid. I wouldn't too much be searching for a person like, oh, man, this motherfucker just popped up in my... And now if she pop in my front yard, now I'm calling the police. I can't play. I ain't playing now. She pop up here, man. You know Slender Man. Y'all know the game. Is that what they talking about? I hope that's not what they talking about. If they talking about Slender Man, like, you know, when you running and then you look back and buddy ass behind you and you get to running, it was a very popular game. Don't tell me that's what they got the idea from. And I'll be honest, some kids are very influent, like they're very impressionable. So that means once they know something, then you get to talking about something, bro, they'll start following and shit and start acting as if they the killer. It's like Michael Myers. You watch Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger, whatever, and now motherfuckers walk around with Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, mask and knives. And now they think they Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers. Like, no. Michael Myers had super strength, bro. He was picking niggas up by the neck, one hand, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a different breed of human. You know what I'm saying? But I guess pleading insanity, I guess that's the way you get out of it. I know in Illinois, if you plead insanity, they'll send you to some place in Elgin. It's like the mental home, and there's a lot of killers there. You know what I mean? When my girlfriend was in a nursing program, she went there, so, you know, her stuff. And Cinnamon was also a movie. Oh, okay. I didn't know. It was a movie too? I guess it's about killing motherfuckers and stabbing people up, huh? That's crazy. Because it's like, imagine you watch a movie or something, right? And then the movie, they doing something, and then you go home and try to reenact it. Like you invincible. Like you going to jail. You know what I'm saying? I guess the only case you can do is plead insanity. Because you insane as hell by thinking that you can just carry on the deed like the this a movie. It's a game. What did you know what I'm saying? It's like playing that role. It's like, yeah, I'm part of this type of. Now I understand if somebody coerced you to do it, then that's a different type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Now we got to charge the person that trying to trick you to kill somebody else. It's like prostitution. The pimp coerced you to sell your body. The pimp gets more time than the prostitute. And that's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? This case, I ain't tripping about her too much. I ain't thinking that she gonna be killing nobody, doing nothing like that. But she is on the loose. But how do you lose her? I guess she's in a group home. So was she gonna be released soon if she was in a group home? Or y'all was just gonna have her serve her time in a group home? Because I guess if I commit a crime, I'm filing for insanity too. For real, because they got it easy. For real, you ever been to a psych ward? You know, you got a lot of crazies in there that get to yelling and they schizophrenics. You got to watch their stuff. Like I used to work at a psych ward, and I'm telling them, like, do we remove these pencils? They're within reach. Because if they stab you and you would work at a psych ward trying to, you know what I'm saying? They don't get in trouble. They already there for violent crime. You know what I'm saying? They just get sedated. But you go home with a stab wound for real. Talking about, can I get PTO? Yeah, for about a week now. That being said, man, there ain't too much to talk about this, man. It just seems like a girl that ran away from a group home after cutting her ankle monitor off. And this is the reason why I'm against the ankle monitors, because in our state of Illinois, they actually give people ankle monitors when they do serious crime instead of keeping them in jail. So if you're a violent criminal, you can literally just cut it off and dip off. And that's actually what happened in Aurora. Speaking of the last case, a guy in Aurora, actually, he was wanted by the FBI from a shooting. He actually got released at home on an ankle monitor. He cut it off and disappeared, and the FBI been looking for him for a year now. He's literally FBI's most wanted in Illinois, top 10, which is crazy. Because y'all, when you give somebody an ankle monitor, you kind of allow them to plot on their own, do what they want to do. And then when they're ready to move, like, look, as I was trying to run from the police, I would cut my ankle monitor, but I'll have the car ready, have a different location set up, wired money over this way. I might have a plane ticket this way. And if I'm wanted, I might have to get out the country quick. You know what I'm saying? I might have to hire a coyote and cartel, get me through to another island. I'd be chilling. You know what I'm saying? If I was, a criminal. But I'm a good guy. So that being said, tell me what y'all think about this in the comment section. It's interesting, but at the same time, stuff like this happens. It is a kid at the end of the day, 12 years old, but she's not exempt from criminal actions. Just like kids in Chicago aren't exempt from using those Glockies with the switches. Because either way, you using big boy toys and you get big boy penalties for that. You know what I'm saying? So tell me what y'all think about this in the comment section. It's your boy Angelo Savage. Don't forget to like the video for the YouTube algorithm. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy Savage. Let's go. Peace. All right, we're going next. We're gonna go over to Washington, D.C. It looks like Trump and Mandani had a meeting. Let's see what this is about.
All right, these had harsh words for one another for months, and now they are going to be sitting down face to face in the Oval Office.
President Trump is meeting today with Zoran Mondani, the
This is an old video,
Democratic
but we're gonna play it
Socialist
anyway.
Mayor of New York City. Our Douglas Zader has a preview from Washington this morning.
It doesn't sound like the White House is exactly rolling out a red carpet today.
It speaks volumes that tomorrow we have a communist coming to the White House.
That is part of the welcome for Zoran Mamdani, the soon-to-be mayor of New York City, who will sit down with the president today in the Oval Office. As a Democratic socialist, he's ideologically miles away from the president, who he taunted back on election night.
I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
The president, too, made his distaste clear, repeatedly calling Mamdani a communist.
I think he should be very nice to me. I'm the one that sort of has to approve a lot of things coming to him, so he's off to a bad start.
This is an opportunity to
true.
make the case for New Yorkers.
Just yesterday, Mamdani explained why he was meeting with Trump, and he tried to find some common thread among their supporters.
This meeting is between 2 very different candidates who they voted for the same reason.
Right.
They wanted a leader who would take on the cost of living crisis that makes it impossible for working people to afford living in this city.
And from the president, perhaps an olive branch.
We want to see everything work out well for New York.
I believe so.
Douglas Zader joins us now live from Washington. This morning, there's been a lot of back and forth between these two. What can we expect as far as the tone of this meeting between these two today, Doug?
Good morning. Well, this is the first time that the two of them are going to meet. We don't know exactly what kind of access we're going to get to this meeting. I mean, generally, there's what they refer to as a spray, where the cameras come in briefly and they say a couple of things, and the cameras leave, and then something happens behind closed doors. So we'll see. It's going to be probably more interesting to see what they say on the way out of this meeting, to see if there's any common ground at all. It may be a cordial meeting where they just kind of walk away agreeing to disagree on a whole host of subjects.
I mean, I suppose we could take a little bit of enthusiasm of the fact that they are sitting down face to face after basically publicly sparring so intensely for months.
And this video might be a little bit old for the people that are updated on like politics or Donald Trump, Mandani, new mayor-elect of New York City. They had a head bumping, you know what I'm saying? He basically calling out Trump, you know what I mean, even though he's just a mayor of a big city. It's kind of like Mayor Johnson, mayor of a big city of Chicago, and he's just basically just calling out Trump. But the difference between Johnson, well, Johnson's the same way. He has no experience when it comes to politically, but at the same time, Mandani has no experience whatsoever in life, almost. You know what I'm saying? Like no job prior to working for his mother when he was younger. So it's a little different. So he's kind of fresh to it. And then not only that, Eric Adams, his former basically whole secretary, his whole his whole team, Mamdani is now working with them with the all women team. I think I'm updated on that for sure. But when he met in the White House, it's a little different because at the end of the day, what people don't understand is that Donald Trump is actually a great negotiator. And not only that, like the reason why they need to work together is because one is the feds and one is a state local. And it's not even a state, really is a city. But at the end of the day, they must work together. It's like a requirement. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, he's like, he should kind of watch. Trump was kind of stating like maybe he should watch his tone due to the fact that I am your boss in a way. And the shit got to be approved of me. And it's best that we have a mutual, cordial relationship than bumping heads. So I think Mamdani came in there like, man, I'm in a high position in life where I don't know what's going on. I have no clue. I'm actually new to this. I'm super new to this. I've been guided. Mamdani said he contacted J.B. Pritzker, which is the governor of Illinois, to get some information on how to deal with Trump. But that was the wrong approach because J.B. Pritzker, billionaire J.B. Pritzker, brother or a family member, he has a different agenda. He doesn't like Trump whatsoever, and he's defiant of him. But he's been at least the governor for at least almost 8 years now. Mamdani, this is his first position, and it's a high up position. He probably never been to the White House. He's not a born citizen, you know what I mean? So he came here when he was very young, so he's an immigrant, but he is a citizen. So this is a very high position to be his first job. It's a high profile job. It's best that you actually work with Donald Trump. And I'm glad that actually, I'm going to play a little clip here. It seems like as if they did get along in the meeting. And, you know, and I like that they were talking because it seems like, okay, well, maybe they had the front, the political front where people are just like talking bad about each other. It's like part of the job. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's like you got to talk bad about each other. Like sometimes I feel like Donald Trump and Obama actually like each other, but then they got to talk shit about each other. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's part of like the business. You know what I'm saying? We work together. So let me play this clip a little bit.
New York City loves a future that is affordable, and I can tell you that there were more New Yorkers who voted for President Trump in New York City, and I keep my horizons.
I don't know why. I just like Donald Trump's smile. Like this is the most he's smiled ever.
He's focused on New York City. I really think he has a chance to do a great job. We're going to help him, but I really think he has a chance to do a great job. But I'll let you answer that. You consider yourself the leader of the Democrats. I think it's more appropriate for him.
I consider myself the next mayor of New York City, and I keep my horizons firmly on New York City, and I appreciate the meeting with the president, which focused again on the 5 boroughs and whether New Yorkers could afford to live there.
By the way, being the mayor of New York City is a big deal.
Right.
I always said, one of the things I would love to be someday is the mayor of New York City. Being the mayor of New York, and especially now, because I think you're at really a turning point, one way or the other. It could go great, or it can go in a different direction. And I think you really have a chance to make it great.
Wow. Look at that. Pause right there. You see right there? That's business right there. And I don't care if you hate Donald Trump or not, you got to respect that right there. You look, even if y'all not friends, it's business. It's a country you're running. We're not enemies for real. We have different opinions. You want this, I want this. Let's come to a middle ground, hopefully. You know what I mean? I'm be honest. Sometimes I think that the United States, we're really behind when it comes to this due to politics. We're so behind in technology growth and all this stuff due to politics. I can respect Trump to go in there, meet with Mamdani, and I respect both of them more. I actually didn't like Mamdani actually a lot. But until Mamdani came to the White House with Donald Trump's looking at him, smiling, doing all the what's not. We don't know really what they were talking about, but based on this conversation, it seems like they had a great conversation. That's a nice handshake right there, man. You know what I'm saying? And he's answering the questions. They smiling. They're cool. They chill. That's what it seems like. And that's the tension you want. You don't want tension starting off with a brand new mayor of New York City. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like this is what needed to happen.
Mr. Mamdani, does New York City want President Trump?
New York City loves a future that is affordable, and I can tell you that there were more New Yorkers who voted for President Trump in the most recent presidential election because of that focus on cost of living, and I'm looking forward to working together to deliver on that affordability agenda.
I got a lot of votes. One more, go ahead, one or two more, go ahead. I tell you, the press has eaten this thing up. You know, I've had a lot of meetings with the heads of major countries, nobody cared. This meeting that you people have gone crazy. You know, outside you have hundreds of people waiting. This is just a small little group. For some reason, the press has found this to be a very interesting meeting. The biggest people in the world, they come over from countries nobody cares. But they did care about this meeting, and it was a great meeting. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. President, I was going to ask you exactly that. Why do you think there's so much more, so much excitement around this than in some form?
Because I think he's different. All right, I think he's different, and that can be in a very positive way. But I think he's different than, your typical guy runs, wins, becomes mayor maybe, and nothing exciting. Because he has a chance to really do something great for New York. New York is at a very critical point, and he does need the help of the federal government to really succeed. And we're going to be helping him, but he's different than your average candidate. He came out of nowhere. I said he has a great campaign manager standing over there. He came out of nowhere. Would you start off at 1 or 2? And then I watched. I said, who is this guy? He was at 1, then he was at 3, then he was at 5, then he was at 9. Then he went up to 17. I said, that's getting a little bit interesting, right? And then all of a sudden he wins a primary that nobody expected he was going to win. It's a great tribute. I mean, it's an amazing thing that he did.
And that's a compliment coming from the president. You might not see it as a compliment. That's a big compliment. And that probably make Mamdani smile neck to neck when he get home. He be like, look, you heard what the president said about me. You see, and this is a push and pull type of a job I see. And this is, like I said, this is respect for both of them. I have more respect for Mamdani. I have even more respect for Donald Trump, because he's telling you that there can be a common ground. We don't have to be enemies. Literally, if you come to the White House and talk to me, we can figure something out. I'm a deal maker, man. We can make deals. You know what I'm saying? This is your first type of job. This is your first political job. This is a big state a big city that you're going to be running. It's best we work together. There's a lot of people that I'm entwined with. There's a lot of people you want to help. Let's just work together. And that's how I see this situation here. And I don't know if you noticed, but that's a B-2 bomber right there. The statue on his on his desk. Yes. That being said, man, tell me what y'all think about the Mamdani meeting with Trump. I think it was very successful. I think this is great. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I was listening to Mamdani the other day, and I was like, man, this dude is so well spoken. Like, even if he wasn't good at the job, he can talk so well. It's like presidential potential. Dead ass. He might be a communist now. Malkani, yeah, he might be a communist, but he has like presidential potential. Unfortunately, since he's not a born citizen, he can't be the president, but he can be something close because he knows how to speak. He knows how to speak for the people. This is actually what you want. Like, he's been media trained in a way, very well. That's why Donald Trump's like, who's this guy? Now he's winning. I'll be honest, maybe he could be the savior for New York City. We don't know. Y'all gonna tell me that in the comment section. Tell me what y'all think really about this situation. I actually like it. I think it's a success for the future, man. We got to be optimistic when it comes to things like this. We're better together than apart. So that's how I look at things like this, and I'm glad that they actually came. And Donald Trump, he's not gonna lie about this. If they had a bad meeting, he gonna say it. If he had an uncomfortable experience with Mamdani, he's gonna say it. He's not going to sugarcoat it. I think they had a great meeting. You see all the smiles and shit, like they said. Way more press than it when he's damn near shook hands with Kim Jong-un. More press than him going over to China, or Russia Putin coming to Alaska. You know what I'm saying? This is just different. Let me read the comment here. I took my mother to NYC. Shout out to Dan. Appreciate the sub, by the way. I know you just subbed. I took my mother to NYC around 20 years ago. She passed last year, but condolences. But I couldn't take her to New York now if she was alive. The place needs help. The football player just got shot. Really? That's crazy, man. But I'll say this. New York City might be bad now, but hopefully you got new leadership, and then Well, let's see how it changes. It's like in Chicago. We got new leadership with Brandon Johnson. It got worse. So we know he's not the guy for the job. But we got to have 4 years with this guy. Eventually, we're going to get him out of there. Great. But Mamdani, I hope that he has better leadership. And with the support of Donald Trump, that's why you need great leaders. That's the very good, important part of having a great leader. When you have a great leader, good things happen. Because then you can work together. Because I think Mamdani's first thought was like Donald Trump, evil, evil, evil. You know what I'm saying? It's New York City, blue state versus Donald Trump. But really, Donald Trump is kind of like, he's trying to help both sides in a way. I know he links right more, but he's really like, all right, man, how can we help y'all and help y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like he's like negotiating. Our past presidents wasn't doing that. It was like strictly liberal, liberal, liberal. You know what I'm saying? We weren't trying to help the red at all. We're trying to restrict guns instead of be like, there's a middle ground. We need a leader that can stay in the middle. And you know, we know he is on the red side, Donald Trump, but we need a leader that can also be in the middle and help the other people too, and kind of come to a middle ground to stop using so much funds, but at the same time help the people that want to come up too. You know what I mean? That being said, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments section about this. It's very interesting, and I'm actually happy that they came to a middle ground as of now. Of course, I predict they will be screaming at each other later, but I think it's just a political stunt to keep like people aroused, because you know, once you get outside these walls of the White House, you got to play the role. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about that situation. It's your boy Angelo Savage. Make sure y'all subscribe. Peace. All right, we're going to the next story. What we got? Let's see what we got here. All righty. Seems like Donald Trump can bring back the push to block state AI regulations. They trying to block it, man? What's going on? I know that we are in a war right now with China and anybody else that are in the AI race. Good thing we have the Americans that have made Grok. We have made Perplexity. We have made Copilot and ChatGPT. So we up right now. But NVIDIA is still owned by who? That's China, bro. And he's the #1 chip maker. But I don't think he has a AI though. So let's play the video. Let's go.
Tonight, the president is renewing efforts to override state-level artificial intelligence laws.
And that includes Tennessee's high-profile Elvis Act, protecting artists' name, image, and likeness. Here's News 2's Kelly Milan.
A draft executive order now circulating in Washington could give the federal government sweeping authority over artificial intelligence and strip states of the power to enact their own protections. Tennessee is one of the states with the most at stake. Its Elvis Act, passed just last year, made national headlines for giving artists new control over their voice, image, and likeness in the age of AI.
If federal preemption comes to fruition, it could potentially invalidate the Elvis Act. And the Elvis Act was passed just last year to protect creators.
Earlier this week, President Trump posted that over-regulation by the states is threatening to undermine this major growth engine, and argued the U.S. needs, quote, one federal standard. The message rooted in a broader concern, falling behind China in AI development.
In states like California, New York, and Colorado have very stringent regulatory schemes. And now these AI companies are going to be forced to comply with 50 different regulatory schemes, which is going to slow us down compared to adversarial countries like China in their AI development.
Tennessee Attorney General Jonathan Scarmetti was one of the first to push back when Washington moved to limit state authority. He joined Governor Bill Lee and other Republican governors, urging the federal government not to sideline state protections in Trump's big, beautiful bill. That moratorium put those federal moves on hold.
Usually when the federal government preempts the states, there's a federal plan in place. So, you know, there would be a comprehensive federal regulatory scheme, and that you don't want the states to bump into that. But here, the federal government isn't doing anything to regulate AI.
If the executive order is signed, it would not take effect immediately. It would first move to Congress for review, where lawmakers would determine how broad preemption should be and whether laws like Tennessee's Elvis Act remain intact, are weakened, or are swept aside entirely. Back to you.
I see it like this, man. Basically, we are and I know people don't believe this, we are in competition with China. Regardless if we believe it or not, they got DeepSeek. And I heard DeepSeek, first off, is governmental owned because China owns a part of all companies. That's another thing. You know, even TikTok, they kind of have a piece in TikTok, or say in TikTok, even though they can't use it. But they have a piece of everything. That being said, we are in competition with them. We've always been in competition with China. We need to be at the front. And that's why you can't restrict it. And I understand what Trump's trying to do. But at the same time, we need certain restrictions on it, because you got some of it telling kids to, I've made videos about, I'm very amazed with ChatGPT. I just got my Samsung Z Fold 7. It's a wonderful phone. But I have Google Gemini, and Google Gemini isn't as good as ChatGPT. But what we have, like I said, we have Gemini, we have ChatGPT, we got Grok, we have Copilot, Perplexity. That's all American, bro. We really doing it for real. But they have DeepSeek, and DeepSeek is really big. You know what I'm saying? And we are in the AI. One thing I would say we can't lack in, and that's artificial intelligence. Our artificial intelligence needs to be superior, second to none. Facts. Because we have all these major billionaire companies. We have Microsoft, which is also Copilot, that made Copilot. We have them. They're the ones, and NVIDIA, they damn near almost invested $1 billion+ into a ChatGPT. Yeah, OpenAI. Yeah, they're not even public. That's how you know it's for real. That's how you know it's going down. I can't wait until it goes IPO. I'm investing immediately. I don't care. ChatGPT, bro, I'm putting all my money into it. Yep. I just know it's just like, I feel like right now it's the boom. I feel like what's happening right now, it's like another boom happening, kind of like Bitcoin. But this is technology, Bitcoin. This is like infinite information, and this is the reason why I like AI in general. I say this: everybody now has infinite information at the tip of their thumbs. ChatGPT is free. I'm telling you, I paid for the free the paid version, but I'm be honest, I didn't use it enough to have to pay for it. So I went back to the free version. And when they say that you got to pay more, I just wait through that little buffer and I do it again. I got Google Gemini. They're not as good, I'm be honest. ChatGPT is superior to all of them, I would think. But at the end of the day, it's free. That being said, if you can invest. But at the same time, watch what you're doing. Don't take all information from it. But at the same time, 'cause I know some people, they'll get into it like a AI psychosis, where they trust everything it's saying. One time, I'm be honest, I asked ChatGPT who was the president. It said Biden. I said, who's the 47th president of the United States? And it said Biden. I said, and then I went along with it and I had a full conversation with it. I said, wait, if Biden's the president, who's the vice president? And it said JD Vance. I said, really? So you got a Democratic president with a Republican vice president? It said, yeah. And that's the only problems about ChatGPT. It needs to be constantly innovated because it has a delusion aspect of it where it will lie. But I knew the truth. I just wanted to see how long it will take ChatGPT to catch on. But that being said, you need to also know the information you're asking to. If it's you need to at least know a partial of the information, because it might just lie to you. But I don't think it's intentional. I just think that it just is confused. It's a computer that's doing infinite information at a certain amount of speed. It's better. It's more of an asset than it is not an asset, I would say. In this situation, I want people to understand that everybody has an equal playing ground now. So if you're an individual like me, I'm 28 years old, you got other people that are older, he and I have the same ability to achieve OpenAI and use the information for anything. I literally was coding an app with ChatGPT. I have no knowledge of coding. I don't know nothing about coding, but I know ChatGPT helped me code something. Maybe, and I made it in everything and put it on Xcode. It worked. Yeah. That's amazing, bro. You can do infinite things. As long as you can think it, and you can damn near tell it to make a plan. I've had ChatGPT make my LLC name. Show me the steps to make an LLC. Literally. I got all that shit done in one day. Shit that would have took me weeks to do. Research individually. It told me immediately. That's what I'm telling you about. Everybody has access to immediate information. In the future, it's either you're going to get ahead with AI or you're not. You're going to either be the old head, because there's a lot of young people that don't use it either, but you're going to be the old head mentally without it, or you're going to be the old head with it and be super advanced. That's my predictions with AI. So yes, we do need regulations based on what it tells people, because now they finna start having it to say sexual stuff content to adult content. I don't too much disagree with it, but I don't too much agree with it either, because we're one step away from having like the sex dials that are automatic. China already got the dials moving the mouth, talking and shit. All you gotta do is add AI to it, and you don't need a wife no more, G. Why do you need a woman when this robot got the gushy? You know what I'm saying? What I need a girl for? I got my robot Android. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Maybe I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, maybe we need regulations. Maybe we don't. Y'all gonna tell me that in the comment section, though. But it's your boy Angelo Savage. Tell me what y'all think about this in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video for YouTube algorithm. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy Savage. Let's go. Peace. All right. Now, we got one more video, man. We're going to get out of here. So I wanted to comment on this because this is actually interesting to me, because I hear that Mrs. Crockett, she had a lot to say about the Donald Trump Epstein files. Mrs. Jasmine Crockett had a lot to say about the Epstein files. Unfortunately, she must have misspoke, and that's the problem when mentioning Epstein, because it seems like they pushed the Epstein files through the House. I think only one person voted against it. Then they got it through the Senate immediately, and Donald Trump signed it that very night to release it. Now, was it released yet? I'm not sure, but he signed it to be released within 30 days, I believe. That being said, I'm going to read it myself. Usually I'm going to use ChatGPT to summarize it. I don't have time to be going through thousands of pages of information. That being said, this video right here, let's play the video.
My source tonight sits on the House Oversight Committee, Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas. And thank you for being here, because now this clock has started with the president signing this bill behind closed doors tonight. Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, was asked earlier today about releasing everything. She repeatedly said, "We will follow the law." Do you expect that you'll get all of these documents by December 18th?
I do not. I absolutely don't expect that, especially when you start to say things like Pam Bondi said she will follow the law, because the only thing that we have seen consistently out of this administration, whether we're talking about the failed prosecution of Comey, and I'm saying failed because that is absolutely what I anticipate is going to happen, we know that they are always doing the opposite of following the law. Every time we look at those court orders that they have ignored, they have literally put us in this constitutional crisis in this country, because for the first time we have another branch of government that seemingly thinks that what other branches have to say, well, you know what, that's advisory. It's not anything that they have to follow. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I don't expect transparency.
The president said tonight he thinks it's going to end up being really embarrassing for Democrats. Are you worried that it's going to be embarrassing for
I'm
your
not
party?
worried at all. I can tell you one thing, I ain't never worried about my name being in the Epstein files.
That's her problem right there. Her problem right there is thinking everything implies to her. I hate when you talk to somebody and they apply it back to them. Look, if Donald Trump is saying that the Democrats are going to be angry, there's probably some information in there about your constituents that are in there that doesn't make y'all look good. Yet you sit there and still try to blame Republicans for it. Unfortunately, whatever will come out, I hopefully come out. It don't matter if it's about Republicans or Democrats. I don't care. We just need to know it, because I have a friend that we debate about this all the time. And he's like, well, are you going to support a pedophile? And I'm like, what? I'm like, nigga, we talking about taxes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, well, I'm glad that he signed the files. And look, he did it swiftly. As soon as it got to the Senate, passed Senate immediately, he signed it within an hour or two. That shit was already, like, come on. He told him to put it through. So I really am actually wondering what's going to happen. I hope that I get to read it and clarify. But people like this, they're like, well, I'm not in it. Okay. But you're saying that these people are in there when really your associates, your constituents are actually in there for real.
That's one thing that we can talk about. Number two, for me, it's not partisan. It's somebody that worked in the criminal justice system, I understand what it is to sit across from a victim. I understand their stories, I understand the trauma, and I understand the lasting effects. Wrong is wrong, right is right, and I think that that is what we are missing in this administration. It seems like he consistently wants to give a pass so long as someone is a follower of his. That's what we saw with the January 6ers, that he decided that he was going to pardon, and then even after they got in trouble again, he decided to pardon them again. He seemingly only wants to go after people that he looks at as if they are opposition. We in this country, what justice looks like is going after whoever is wrong, no matter their race, no matter their political affiliation, and no matter how much money they do or don't have in the bank account.
So you're saying, yeah, you don't care even if it does embarrass Democrats.
I don't care. That's not what this is about. To me, it's not political. We need to make sure that we understand how it was that this was able to take place, and we need to make sure that we tear down those structures. We have an obligation as legislators to make sure that we do better by the people in this country. We need to make sure that there are no other children that end up in similar circumstances, whether Jeffrey Epstein is alive or dead. We need to make sure, because it wasn't just one man. This was a system, a sophisticated system that was set up. And so we need to make sure that there are no other victims going forward.
One Democrat who's been on defense over Jeffrey Epstein.
And, you know, she's warranted to believe that. I think it's nothing wrong with that, for real. I honestly do believe, yes, we must know who are doing these crimes towards innocent individuals. But, of course, if she don't think she's in there, then she's not in there. Like, if she's confident believes she's not in there, but doesn't mean the people that you're associated with aren't in there. So I would say deassociate yourself and stop trying to put blame on anything. I would say, really, just stay quiet about it until it come out, because now you're speaking before, you know, your turn. Let's continue, because this is the part I actually want to get to the most.
Is Stacey Plaskett. She represents the Virgin Islands. She was texting with Jeffrey Epstein the day of Michael Cohen's hearing. Her questions pretty closely followed the text messages between the two of them to ask about Rona Graff, Trump's longtime assistant. You were defending her today, or in recent days, yesterday, and you talked about Republicans taking money from a Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what you said.
Who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there. He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor, doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who donated to a prior campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people?
I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein. Just so that people understand, when you make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in...
Dude, come on. She gonna play that card. She gonna play that. I didn't say it was that Jeffrey Epstein. I say it was a Jeffrey Epstein. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. She needs to just silence herself about this whole situation, because she's digging herself a grave, because what she's doing is she's implying, because who else are we talking about? You weren't talking about no goddamn doctor. You was talking about the Jeffrey Epstein, you know, Ghislaine Maxwell, you know what I'm saying? Island Jeffrey, billionaire. You weren't talking about no doctor. You were talking about, you know, Jeffrey Epstein. But now she knows that, like, CNN, I'm gonna be honest, I like CNN for keeping her accountable on that, because we need clarification here. Because if you say Jeffrey Epstein, you're implying that it's the Jeffrey Epstein. But now you're like, I said a Jeffrey Epstein, to kind of slide into a different realm of conversation. It's like, well, what you said is what you meant. Even though you said a, you really mean the. You get what I'm saying? She playing these little games around and knowing what she really means.
Time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC. So my team, what they did is they Googled, and that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies. Because it was not the same one, that's fine. But when Lee Zeldin had something to say, all he had to say was it was a different Jeffrey Epstein. He admitted that he did receive donations from a Jeffrey Epstein, so at least I wasn't trying to mislead people. Now, have I dug in to find out who?
But you were, pause. But you were trying to mislead people, because if you say, if we find out that you donated money to a Jeffrey Epstein, you will be prosecuted. Whoop whoop. You had intentions of that information, but what happened is you went live to set. You didn't have to sit there and say that out loud. You didn't have to say none of that. And then you're reneging on it and saying that you didn't really mean the Epstein. You mean a Epstein. No, you meant the Epstein. And then now you're saying that it was your team's fault because they did a Google search. So you're Google searching things, and then you're going on the news and spreading that rhetoric around and convincing your party that that's what's going on. That's lying. You know, that's the same reason why I see like other places like ABC gets sued. The BBC gets sued. You know what I'm saying? For trying to spread a false rhetoric to imply something that you knew was false or not 100% true. You know, to sway something or sway an opinion. But now she's playing another card. But now she's blaming it back on Republicans. And I understand what she's trying to do. But at the end of the day, it's like, dude, this isn't your fight. Step back and see who's actually there. Because in her initial video, when she said that, the lady to her left was the lady that was actually exchanging text messages through the deposition with Jeffrey Epstein. And he was coaching her on what questions to ask the lawyer in that case. The same lady. So, you know what I'm saying? You're protesting against something that you don't know nothing of. And then you try to renege and say, oh, no, I didn't say the, I said a. And that was my team. They gave me false information. So you're taking information from your team that you're not verifying it. And then you're re-spilling it out into the public, changing opinion about certain information. So you're giving false information. But then you blame your team about it. If your team is giving you false information, you should verify it, ma'am. Be honest. Because how do you expect to be trustworthy with what you say?
Doctor is, I have not. So I will trust and take what he says is that it wasn't that Jeffrey Epstein, but I was not attempting to mislead anybody. I literally had maybe 20 minutes before I had to do that debate.
Yeah, but people might see that and say, well, you're trying to make it sound like he took money from
I did not know.
A registered sex offender.
No, but I literally did not know. When you search FEC files, and that's what I had my team to do, I texted them and I said, listen, we're going up. They are saying that she took donations.
Right, but someone might say, well, your team should have done the homework to make sure it wasn't the convicted sex trafficker.
Within 20 minutes, you could not find that out, not from just doing a quick search on FEC. So
that's your fault that your team didn't do proper due diligence when it comes to researching things. It doesn't matter how much time you had. That's no excuse. If you had 20 minutes to research for an exam and then you take the exam and you bomb it, is it the exam's fault that you didn't study for it? No, it's your fault. You can't blame your team, because what she just did is, first off, she went from saying, I talked about a Epstein instead of the Epstein. And then she went from, it was my team's fault because I told them to Google it and this is what they came back with, to we only had 20 minutes left. Come on, man. We all not slow. Not everybody's slow here now. We comprehend it, and this is like, I'm glad that they're rebuttaling what she's saying, because she's pointing out BS right now. Whoever Shardy is on the left, she's pointing out BS, and she sees right through it, and I see it right through it too. Like, we're putting you on Front Street right now. You're too busy getting your head done, your head too tight, and your nails done, that you're lying about certain situations. You need to be focused on what you need to be focused on. If it doesn't involve you, chill out until the results come in, because you're trying to defend something while defending the crook. Right? And then now you're saying you only had 20 minutes. It doesn't matter how many minutes you had. If you didn't have the proper information, you shouldn't have spilled it. Simple as that. Because you're spilling the rhetoric to make someone seem bad when they didn't do that. Now you're saying, I didn't mean to call him Epstein as a pedophile. No, you did, because you don't know no damn doctor named Epstein. You know what I'm saying? It's just not her fight, and she's just doing too much for no reason.
Number one, I made sure that I was clear that it was a Jeffrey Epstein, but I never said that it was specifically that Jeffrey Epstein, because I knew that we would need more time to really dig in.
Well, Stacey Plaskett was texting the Jeffrey Epstein that we're all talking about. You voted against the censure for her to remove her from her committees. You know, we pressed the minority leader Hakeem Jeffries on this last night. Maybe you don't think she should be removed from her committees,
Correct.
but why do so many Democrats seem unwilling to say it's inappropriate to be texting with a registered sex offender about what you're going to ask a witness at a congressional hearing?
So I'm not going to necessarily say that that's the case. Now, this is somebody that was a former prosecutor. Now, I haven't sat down and talked about all the specifics of why Stacey was doing what she was doing. I know that when she got up and she spoke, she talked about the fact that this is one of her constituents. At the end of the day, what I know of prosecutors is that they are typically talking to co-defendants. They are typically talking to the people that have the best information. And what you had was you had the former attorney for the president that was sitting there. And honestly, we knew, or she knew, or at least Jeffrey Epstein presented that he was very cozy with the president. He had more information, registered sex offender or not. The bigger question is, why is it that the president was so cozy with a registered sex offender even after he ultimately ended up with some of his convictions? And seemingly, he had absolutely been on the plane with him. We know about the birthday card. The bigger question is, why is the president of the United States not the one that is in the hot seat for his relationship, instead of us saying, oh, you know what, we're going to take her off of her committee because he decided to text her. Stacey didn't initiate that chain. Jeffrey initiated that chain, and she took the information. Just like if somebody texts me.
Yeah, but she was responding and saying, you know, what are you talking about? Quick, I'm up next. And then her questions were about Rona. But do you think that was inappropriate? I mean, would you text with someone who is a registered sex offender about what you should ask?
I honestly know that he had never been convicted of any federal crimes at that time.
But he had been in jail already.
He had been
got a
in
plea
jail.
deal.
And my deal is this. The Republicans are constantly texting with a 34-count convicted felon. So if it's okay for them to text.
You see how she's switching it? You know, I'm going to be honest. Sometimes people say things because they think the people that they're talking to lack knowledge that they understand what they're saying. Imagine somebody's talking to you, right? And they're saying something to you. And then you not only recite what they say, you play a video of what they said. And then they're like rebuttaling everything and switch it back. The narrative, it's like reverse psychology. But she can't do reverse psychologist with a journalist that has the information right in front of her. She has the video, the audio, the evidence, the text. You know what I'm saying? So you see what she just said. I don't see a problem texting a pedophile because they're texting Donald Trump, which is a 37 convicted felon or a felon. I'm confused, sir. That's the president. We're talking about a child predator, ma'am. You see, it's like reverse psychology at its finest. It's kind of suspect, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it makes me feel like she knew something about it, or she's part of it, bro. Facts. Yeah, I gotta be suspicious on who this is. I'm gonna be honest, and it has to be black people for something. This is what makes me angry because I'm black, and then it makes us look bad because you're It's like a black person protecting a pedophile. That is black. So it's a white pedophile and a black woman is protecting that pedophile. And that black woman, and then there's another black woman protecting that black woman for protecting that pedophile. That's exactly what's going on. You see, and then she reversed it and like, oh, well, Donald Trump's a felon. You text Donald Trump. Everything's happening with Donald Trump actually technically is public. Epstein is, you know what I'm saying? This is different. I'm tired of the nonsense, man. We're going to cut it here, man. Y'all check out the video on CNN. This is a great interview. I actually like this interview because Jasmine Crockett be talking nonsense sometimes, and people just want to vote for her and stuff because she's black, and I understand that, but we shouldn't vote for people because they're black. We should vote on merit and see where they're at and where they stand in life. And I like to be very open, but I don't, when wrong is wrong and you're supporting things that you don't really understand, it kind of like defeats the purpose of what you stand for. That being said, man, tell me what y'all really think about this in the comments section. This is a very interesting topic. I really wonder what you guys think about this, man. Tell me what you think about this in the comments section. Don't forget to like the video for the YouTube algorithm. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy Angelo Savage, man. We here with politics. We're going to come and do this every day. Damn now. Let's go. It's your boy Savage. Subscribe. All right, team. I like this video. I like that video. It seems like we ran through most of our videos that we got through today, man. I'm happy for the people that stayed through the whole time. Appreciate the love, bro. I don't know what y'all do. Fuck with your heart. Appreciate it. Got off work last night. I came straight to record, man. I set this up. We're going to start doing this every night. Every night we're going to start doing this for an hour or two, record this, get the videos out because I'm liking this. Now, I'm going to do my thumbnails, upload my thumbnails with this video and the videos I just done. And then that's how we're going to rinse and repeat, man. We're going to go live at night until we start going closer towards the morning or a night show. It depends on what the audience really want. I appreciate the assistance. Appreciate the help, man. I appreciate the love. It's your boy, Angelo Savage, man. We do this straight off the dome. There's a lot of stuff going on. I got my email, angelo.savage101@gmail.com. If you have any videos or anything you would like me to react to, send that to my email there, and I will check it out. Make sure it's clean, probably from YouTube, and we're going to go from there. It's your boy, Angelo Savage. Peace.